All right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. Today we are starting our low deck 512 stroker with the Trickflow 270 heads and comp solid roller camshaft. So first startup, it's going to be an exciting video. We finally get to hear the thing start, run, and go. I'm not over revving, I'm not doing any of that. I can try to throw in my quick startup procedure, but for the most part, people want to hear the engine run. That's what it's all about. I got a full build series on this if you haven't seen it. John Cope approves. Right there, he's excited about it too, so let's get into it. So a lot of people may not realize, but it takes at least a half a day to get the engine on the run stand to where it will start. And that's not just because some of my wiring's ugly and whatever else, but you got to gap every spark plug and put anti-seize on them, because these are aluminum heads, and put anti-seize on all your header bolts, and hook it up to the bell housing and put the flywheel on. It's a time-consuming process, and then whatever fuel system they got going on. So it might be like he's doing E85, so I need to be sure my pump is all cleaned up and everything. Hook up the fuel tank. I actually go buy E85 because I don't run that in anything. And all the little knick-knacky things, hooking up the heater hose or the coolant hoses. And being sure all that works, nothing's leaking. You know, so you're at a half a day just on the hookup, and then timing the engine takes just a few minutes, but putting all the wires on where they won't burn on the headers. I started putting my plugs in first before I put my headers on now. And that's actually a little time saver for me because everything's away from each other. So if I can just layer it in, then I don't know, it works out better, it seems. I'm getting these screwed in. These are NGK BKR 7E, so the heat range of 7. This engine's around 12.5 to 1. He may want to change heat range if he runs nitrous or something, but these are the same plugs I run in mine, and they seem to do really well. The V-Power, there we go, BKR, I think R's has a resistor or something. But every little thing, I had to find some breather caps and grommets for his valve covers because they didn't come with that. And if I wanted to order some from online, it would take a couple of days to get here. O'Reilly's might have some that would work. But I just rolled with what I had. Carburetor studs, those are some extras that I had in my race box. That's why we put this little 1-inch spacer on. We is me, currently. Because my studs were the correct length for a 1-inch spacer and a Holley style carburetor. And what else? I got to be sure my batteries are good and charged. I'm not running an alternator on my run stand because it's only going to run 10 or 20 minutes. I'm checking for leaks, being sure everything sounds good. And our top dead center real quick. Hopefully this thing won't light me up like in previous days. We'll unplug the ignition, all that jazz. There it is. So it's about time for the fun part. I got us all wired up and ready. I did check for spark at the cap, so I know when I turn it over, it sparks there. Otherwise, I got my little Chug-a-Lug Edelbrock fuel pump hooked up. I've only got the front barrels of the carburetor hooked up, which is a single line that's connected on that side. And we do have squirting action. I'll show you that in a second. All my plug wires look nice. Timing lights hooked up. I've got my electric fans undone for now. I'm gonna wait for it to fire and get ready. This dude's about 12.5 to 1 compression. I need to double check the math on that, but I know it's at least 12.5. Comp solid roller cam. Everybody asks me in every video what the cam specs are on it. I'll just insert it in this clip right now and show you. Once again, here's my Ghetto Fabulous exhaust. It used to be on the blue truck, but that's 3-inch exhaust into 18-inch glass packs, just straight pipes. So it might all crumble and fall down after it starts running. I don't have any idea. Got me a new remanufactured mini starter last time we went to the dyno for Dave. That's the part number if you want to get yourself one. It is barely touching this header right now, which I don't care because it's not going to live like that for very long. And there's dyno headers at the dyno. But yeah, here it is. I went ahead and put this on. There's actually at least a 1/4 inch all the way around that. I don't know if you can see it or not. So I just want to protect his boot and be sure it's all good. And his 850 ATM carburetor, this is E85, so we'll see. It should be fine for us running it simply on a stand here. I'm not doing anything crazy and all that, but I can't believe y'all were going to let me start this thing without putting the dipstick in it. I imagine that 4 1/4 inch stroke crankshaft would have been feeding us a little bit of oil out of that hole there. So let me put the dipstick in and then we'll try to start. Here's our first real start. What's this like? I double checked my top dead center, and I had number 1 marked as here, but it's actually here. So we need to rotate around 1 wire all the way. Okay, the actual real first startup. Let's see what it does. I already gave it fuel a second ago. That plugs back in. Plug the computer back up. The actual real first start again. I think our timing is a little bit slow. Oil pressure jumped straight up to 80. I'm gonna give it a little advance before I even try the light. You just see that little bit of spit back through the carburetor at the end. I gotta get our cooling fans on. Temp is over 100 now. Get those dudes on. That's just old oil from that old dirty boot there smoking. It is not his plug wire, I promise. And I may go ahead and set another fan up in front of this thing so it can blow some of the heat out. So it does start and run again. My old orange box that I've had on here 100 years, on this run stand, another one finally died. So I put it on Darren's 6AL2, plugged it right into MSD distributor, that MSD coil, and it starts great now. And I've got a separate battery for it versus the starter. So I don't know about his carburetor. It seems like it might be a little stopped up or something, because when we try to idle it down, every time we idle it down under 2,000, it wants to start dying. And it's not a vacuum leak of any kind. I literally put my car buddy on here and it smothered the engine out instantly. So maybe I can play a little with the idle mixture screws and see if I can go around and around. It's on 32 degrees of timing now. So. So it's still the same day. You can still see my ghetto setup here of battery stuff. I went in the house to get a water and I'm like, you know what? Maybe, magically, our brand new AED carburetor can come in and I can put it on this dude and start over fresh with it. And it's here. So let's get this thing out and here it is. E85, there's your jet sizes. I'm not smart enough to tell you what all this means, but it's their Pro Series. It's been test run and start as a new core. So it says 850 M3A. I still think they flow their stuff a little bit differently, and it still has down leg boosters. Let's get it out. I know it's kind of a funny camera angle, but not all 850s are made the same. And I wanted to show you real quick, if my caliper doesn't die, I'll have to approximate that. But the throat of that carburetor, the ATM, 1385. This dude, 1520. Much larger, right? Also, these boosters have a lot larger hole inside of them versus that smaller style. And that could just be because these are more appropriate for that size Venturi. On the bottom, this one hasn't had fuel in it yet, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I think they're very similar. AED does drill you a few small holes in the front butterflies, and I've never had an issue with it. Mine starts, revs, runs beautifully. But I can measure these while I'm standing here just for funsies. 1738. So about the same. Same as same. I'm gonna get this dude bolted on. Let's see how she runs. I'm not gonna touch anything on it. I'm gonna bolt it on and we're gonna try to start the engine. I also have to mention, this boy's got the big accelerator pump versus that one. Hopefully you can see the difference there. Had to point that out. Here's our first start with the AED. I did fill up the rear fuel bowl because I know it's going to bother somebody out there that I don't have that rear line hooked up right there. We don't plan on sitting here revving this thing to where the back barrels keep coming open. But if it happens once or twice, that's fine. I'm not out here to rev an engine. I'm out here to try to break it in, be sure it doesn't have any leaks. So let's see how she starts, runs, everything right now. I haven't touched anything on this carburetor. Try for a start back. Life is good, folks. No leaks. Starts, runs, revs strong. While I'm here, you'll notice my silly little clamps. That's a band clamp. I can pop it open and give us our open header sound that everybody wants to hear. Here we go. Open header start. Let's call it a day, people. Special thanks to AED Competition. There's their phone number if you need it. Tell them Just Mopar Joe sent you. They might know who you're talking about. But yeah, next step is dyno day. So I hope y'all are looking forward to it. Get our Trickflow 270 headed 512 big block stroker on the dyno. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you next time. All right, Mopar people.